Hello friends, so in this video we'll see how to use LaTeX. So today whenever you're publishing any research paper or any other paper which contains like many complex equations or even simple equations, it's important that you convert those equations into LaTeX. So LaTeX basically means that those equations you convert those equations into some image so that those equations remain as images, and wherever you publish it or wherever you print it, the equations remain as it is, nothing is changed, and unintended things does not occur, right? So to start with, there are many ways to learn LaTeX, but this is a very nice one and you can try this. So in Google G Suite, you see, you can search this auto LaTeX equation. You can actually download this, install this. This will be installed as a Google Docs add-on. So here I have a Google Doc. Okay, so on the add-on, you see I have installed it, auto LaTeX equation. So you can click start. So we'll be seeing how to write really complex equations. So once you know how to write complex equations, then it's really easy to guess how to type simple equations, right? So we'll see how to do all this. Okay, so first of all, okay, let's try with Einstein's rest mass equation. Let's try. This is a very simple equation, but still let's try it. So whenever you're starting an equation like in this, first of all you need $2 symbols, and then you will type the thing in between, and then again $2 symbols. So whatever you do, it should be enclosed between $2 symbols on either side, right? So E equals MC. You can just write if you want a superscript, you can use exp or like exponent or anything, but this will also work. So you can render, just click render equations and see this will be converted into image. Take some time, but it's really useful. Otherwise, you see this it's converted to image. Now the size is very small. Actually, you can choose here. This is inline, automatic, font size 24, font size 12. There are some options, so you can do automatic if you want really big equations. Now once you've done this, if you want to de-render this, you just place the cursor immediately before the equation. Place the cursor immediately before the equation and click de-render equation. So, and now you can choose automatic and render this equation again, so that this time you'll see it will be a bigger one. As you can see, it's a slightly bigger one. So now we can now if you have any fraction, let's try de Broglie's equation. Again dollar symbols, okay, and don't forget to give the closing dollars, otherwise the equation will be wrong. So suppose I want to the de Broglie equation is actually h over p is lambda. So to write h over p, that's actually a fraction where h is the numerator and p is the denominator. So we'll give backslash, okay, I mean this symbol, okay, backslash, and not this one, okay. So backslash, then frac, that's the code for fraction, and then you just in second brackets we'll write the numerator and denominator just side by side. No need to give any such symbols between them, just like that, okay. First you write the numerator and after that the denominator. So h and here p. This is equal to lambda. So for any Greek letter like lambda, zeta, psi, whatever it is, alpha, gamma, so you just type it in alphabet, and but before that you just give a backslash. This will do. You can read the equation. Now let's try Schrodinger's equation. It's obviously much more complicated, but this will give us a good idea how to use this. So the Schrodinger equation is minus h cut square over 2m del square psi plus u psi equals, or like there are many forms of the equation, but the thing is that h cut is actually h over 2 pi. Let's type this equation first. So there is no ultimate symbol for h cut, but you can use this h bar, and just h bar, okay, no hyphen in between or anything. So h bar equals, we want to write h over 2 pi, so that will be a fraction h 2, and when you're using the pi, just give a space and pi, and this would do. So now you see this is the h cut symbol, you see. Now in Schrodinger's equation we have this h cut square, so, and the Schrodinger equation is a very complex equation, so you'll know what I mean once I type it. So for the minus symbol you can just use the hyphen, h bar square, that's actually a fraction, right? So over, so this is in the denominator, 2m. We don't know what the terms mean in the equation, we're just practicing using latex, right? And then we have this symbol is called nabla. That's actually the Laplacian operator. You can also write, you can also try using the partial differential equation, so you can also write it like that, but here we're writing in this form. So minus h square over 2m, this is nabla square, and then you have psi, which is a Greek symbol, it denotes a wave function, plus u. Here u is the potential operator, and when you're typing like this, it's better to give a space in between. This u psi is nothing but e psi, right? Or you can also write this as I, then h bar, and then you can again use the fraction. Now you can use the partial differential equation, that form. This is actually the first order partial derivative of time. So just write partial, and of course you need a backslash before this, and again partial t, and then you have a psi here. So let's see if this works. Okay, so there seems to be some mistake. We need to correct the h bar. Oh, there should be a backslash before the h bar. Before any such symbol, there should be a backslash. So this here is Schrodinger's equation, on which modern physics is based. And minus h square over 2m nabla square plus u, this thing collectively is called the Hamiltonian operator, which will give you energy when it's operated. That's actually a quantum operator. So and if you want to expand this Laplacian operator, we can do this like this. So there can be any function here, so that could be anything. That could be psi also. So here we're showing using it for psi. So yes, we can just copy this code here because it's basically the same thing, but we have to show this in 3 dimensions for 3 variables: del square over del x square, and then del square over del y square, and then for z square. So before each partial there will be a backslash. I think I have messed up in that part again. So this is the Laplacian operator, and in this equation we're operating it on the wave function, and the general form is just this. This nabla square is just del square over del x square plus del square over del y square plus del square over del z square in 3 dimensions. And this here is actually the time dependent Schrodinger equation, because we are like we're also in the RHS we have also mentioned I h cat del t of psi, but time independent Schrodinger equation, in the time independent Schrodinger equation we just write till here, till e psi. So now let's type Einstein's field equations. It's a very complex equation, and well, obviously you need to know tensor calculus and many other things for that, but here we'll just see how to type, because this will give an idea how to type subscripts and such things also, so that's very important for our purpose today. So that's R, and then you need a subscript, so give a space and write subscript, and then always in second brackets you just write the thing which should be in the subscript. So that's mu nu, right? So mu and give a hyphen, nu, R mu nu, right? Plus half, so better use fraction here, plus half g mu nu r g, and then use subscript mu nu and times r, okay, plus lambda g mu nu. So well, we need to use capital lambda here, right? So for that we can just type lambda with the capital L. So this trick would work. So plus g mu nu r plus lambda g mu nu, that's where I give a space g times in the subscript mu nu, always in second bracket, and never forget this backslash before the Greek letters or before the command like subscript or whatever. So and here the r is the curvature scalar, but r mu nu is the Ricci curvature tensor. Anyway, we don't need to go in the technical details of the equation. That's again fraction. This is the RH of the equation, 8 pi g, which is Newton's gravitational constant, g t mu nu. So t, then we will have a subscript mu nu. Okay, so this is in fraction, right? So and this is the numerator, and then we will have the denominator, right? 8 pi g t mu nu over c raised to the fourth power, right? So let's see if this works, and after this we will see how to do integrals and a few other examples also. Seems to be some problems. So this is all right now. Actually for subscript there's a very simple trick. Let me derender the equation and show you what I have done. For subscript you don't need don't need to use backslash and don't need to type subscript. You just put an underscore symbol, and after that you can write in second brackets the expression which you want to appear as a subscript, right? So and no backslash, just simple underscore and then in second brackets that expression. And one more problem was that when you're using fraction, this second bracket and this second bracket, like the thing enclosed between these two brackets is the numerator. So please don't confuse such things, because there are two consecutive second brackets and one is for this underscore expression, right? So this is how you type equations in LaTeX, which is of course very important nowadays. And so this is how to type Einstein's field equations. And for integrals you can, it's actually very simple, but I mean this is for indefinite integrals, of course. Just backslash and int, let's say integral x squared dx we want to type, and of course you need to give a space. Integral x squared dx is fraction, and of course like this, x cube over 3, this is the formula. Doesn't matter if you don't know it, just, and obviously we can put the limits here, so plus c will be there, which is the constant of integration, right? So let's see, let's render this equation. See, integral x squared dx is x cube, like so. This is how you type integrals, and sometimes you need definite integrals. For in those cases we need to use the limits also, and for integrals with limits we can use this symbol here, so int, and then we can use underscore, the underscore symbol, and then in second bracket the expression that will be the lower limit, let's say that's a, and then the exponent symbol, and then in second bracket is the thing that will be the upper limit, which is b. Let's say b, it could be anything, right? Yeah, we have given a space here, that's great. And now let's say x squared dx, so x squared dx, right? So that's simple enough. So this will be integral of x squared of dx from a to b. This is what it means. Yeah, so this is how you type definite integrals. It's very easy. Using LaTeX is actually very easy. And let's try some more equations, like some more special equations maybe, like psi equals a sine of 2 pi x over lambda. That's the simple one after all. Yeah, let's try this. Psi equals a e raised to the power of I kx minus omega t. That's a bit complicated, but it's again easy. So psi, this is the wave function, is a space is not required here, e raised to the power of, always use second brackets here, so that the entire thing in the second bracket, that will be raised to the power of e I, and then in bracket. And by the way, if you're typing this first bracket, then it will appear in the equation too, right? It's not a part of the code. So kx minus omega is a Greek symbol, so backslash omega space t. So this will be all right now. Let's see. A e to the I kx minus omega t, and this is not w, of course, this is omega. Most of you know that. And one more thing, if you need to type like hat or something, For instance, one famous form of the Schrödinger's equation is that's E psi is H cap or H hat psi. So where this H hat is nothing but the Hamiltonian operator. So this is the simpler, it's a simple representation of the Schrödinger equation, but because H cap is actually a very complex term. So to type such equations, you have to use the hat symbol. So E and then psi equals, so HAT, first backslash, then HAT, and then in second bracket the thing over which you need that symbol, that cap symbol or hat symbol, whatever you may prefer, and then of course psi. And like this you can type like the in quantum mechanics, to denote operators we use a symbol, right, for moment operator, energy operator. So you see E psi is H cap psi. So if you want to write the the moment operator, so that's P, that's minus I H bar nabla, or you can write del over del x, depends, doesn't matter. Oh, and here you should use double dollars, but in some places you will see single dollar symbols, but we are using autolattice equations here. Let's see if this works with single dollar symbols. So no equations rendered, you can see this here, no equations rendered. So here we should always use double dollar symbol, and it's actually very easier to use this. So I think you should download this extension, autolattice equations. Yeah, p cap, or the momentum operator is minus h cap del. Like this you can type such equations also. Of course anything you can type in latex. Some things might get a bit tricky, because and anyway these equations we type, they are like complex enough, like, right, they're not simple equations, like, you know what I mean. And let's see a few more examples. So we'll be considering two more equations, and they'll be very like nice equations. They'll give you a very great, like, good idea. So let's see how to type this famous equations. Like, it's a very important equation actually. The Lorentz factor, or the gamma term, right, which is in relativity we use it, the Lorentz factor. So first of all, let's type gamma. Gamma is actually 1 over under root of 1 minus v squared by c squared. So you can understand it's a very complex equation actually. So first of all, fraction, and beware of typing mistakes, of course. So 1 is the numerator, and the denominator is under root of. So first of all, for under root you use the SQRT, that's the short form for square root. And yeah, for cube root also, there might be something we'll see, but for square root we use SQRT, and then second bracket, inside the second bracket the command for SQRT. 1 minus, then again fraction, v squared over c squared, right. So this is how you type the Lorentz factor. Let's see if this is okay. And yeah, so this is gamma, 1 over under root of 1 minus v squared by c squared, right. And then let's use the Lorentz equation. I was reminded of this equation when I thinking of Lorentz. So the Lorentz equation is actually, it's related to electromagnetism, and basically says it's just QV plus QV cross B. So the QV cross B is actually a cross product. In vectors there can be dot products or cross products. So so for cross products you have to show this symbol. This is not just a multiplication symbol here. This represents the cross product. So V is the velocity of the charged particle that is entering the magnetic field, and that's actually a vector quantity, and B is the direction of the lines or the magnetic field lines. So both are vectors, and there's a cross product between them. So the Lorentz force, let's say that's F, okay. So okay, F, that's, or let's not write the full force, that's a QV you can write. So QV cross B, so Q times V should be in vector. So for vectors we use VEC, and in second bracket, right, in second bracket always V. So this vector means there will be an arrow over the top, of course, cross B. So just type it like this here. I think they will take this command, B in capital, of course. So QV cross B, I think this will be enough for QV cross B. So see, for this for QV cross B. So I think this video gave you like a good idea like how to type equations in LaTeX, and we covered many examples. Obviously there are many examples we left out, for instance limits, then for derivatives you can use fraction symbol, alright. even for higher order derivatives as well. But yeah, for limits and maybe some other things like for cube root and things, but those are easy to check out on the internet. And once you get used to these kind of equations, and we consider some pretty hard equations, so then using it is really, it becomes really easy. And like today we must use that experiment when we're using equations, because otherwise, like if you're just typing the equations or using like word or this equation option, like this equation option, if you are using, then when you are suppose you want to copy this and paste it somewhere else, or you want to post it somewhere, then many problems will arise. So it's best to use the LaTeX, because LaTeX converts the equations in picture form. So no matter what you do, the equations will remain as it is. So I hope this video was useful. Please subscribe if you like. Thank you very much.